good day out there. Welcome once again to Fourth Estate on the platform of IATV Studios in Lagos. I am Olufunke Faduba. Today on the program, we shall be looking at matters arising from the Presidential and National Assembly election. With the National Assembly elections wrapped up and the horse trading for top seats in the parliament going underground, the question is, how will the voter, the masses, benefit from all this? With not less than 15 ex-governors making it to the red chambers, does that signal a night senate that will be people-oriented? On the presidential election, President Muhammadu Buhari has been declared winner and given certificate of return by INEC, even as his closest challenger, Atiku Abubakar of the People's Democratic Party, is lacing his shoes to head for the tribunal. Note that supplementary elections are due to hold on Saturday, and some have asked, why was the certificate of return issued if the elections have not been concluded? Lastly, President Buhari said his second coming will be tough. Can we put that in the real context? Is it going to be tough? Does he mean it like that? Or has he any other thing in mind? To discuss these issues with me, I have Mr. Omololu Rosowo. He's the political editor, Lagos Television. You are welcome to the program.
Thank you so much. Nice to be here.
And also Ajibola Abayomi, publisher, Lead Magazine. You are welcome, sir.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Yeah, let's start off. Ex-governors in the parliament, and they have been at the grassroots level. They have been in touch with the people. Let's even look at those who were there before. What did they do? Did we see their impact in the parliament? Mr. Abayomi, you want to start off?
Okay, thank you, Madam Moderator. For me, ordinarily, with the level that our democracy has assumed, one should at least say experience you count. One should expect that with more governors coming into the Senate, ordinarily there should be majority, there should be stability, the quality of input should be higher. But I beg to disagree with anyone. Even from what I've seen in the last dispensation.
That is the outgoing
Yes.
parliament.
No. It's very short of expectation. So that goes to say that it is not when you are an ex-governor, an ex-minister that matters. It is just the political maturity in you. Currently now we have about 17 ex-governors that are going to be part of this 109 Senate
In the ninth
Senate.
parliament. Yes.
And then when you look at it, it's about 15.6%. I bet it with you, there are going to be minuses at the end of the day.
Rosanwo,
Well,
or are the governors looking at the parliament as their retirement place?
yes, to some extent, I would say you are right that they are actually using that platform as a retirement place, just like you said. But I beg to disagree a little with him because I believe that quality representation also comes with quality leadership. Yes, some governors in the past, some presently may be doing things that you think are not really helping the society, but you cannot take the experience
Away from
they
them.
have from them. So that experience is what we should be saying must be put in place so that things can get better at the National Assembly, not looking only at the lower chamber or the upper chamber. I'm talking generally now
The
that
totality of the parliament.
yes, because the problem Nigerians have always faced over the years is quality representation. And you find out that governors, let me say the executives, are always at loggerheads with the legislatures. Why? We're running a democratic system. We're running a system where they have the clear line of divides, of actions, of authority. So why should that continue to hold Nigeria or Nigerians to ransom? So I believe that what we Nigerians should be fighting and be asking now is quality representation. Quality representation.
Abayomi, let's look at it. These former governors or outgoing governors, even in their states, some of them could be seen to have pocketed their assemblies, their own legislative arm. Could it be a transfer of that orientation to the national level?
Thank you, madam. You see, when I said ordinarily we should expect maturity, I chose that word, and it was with the expectation of normal things that should be expected. And I've also said here that considering what even the ex-governors have done in the past in the Senate, we have not seen any input that can make Nigerians say, okay, quality representation. You have just said the obvious now. All these governors, not even a single one, pocketed the House of Assemblies in their different states. That goes to show that they have compromised. That is not to say that I'm condemning them in totality. But like you said, we are craving for quality representation. But who are those that are there that are showing us now that of quality? What do you expect from a man that was part of a disorganized system and now putting up another character to deceive you that, oh, it is going to be well? For me, I am not predicting doom. While the Senate may not be perfect, the leadership of government at every level should rest on the people. People should now tax them to do the right thing. Either we like it or not, these incoming governors will not change the Senate. We knew why the others behaved the way they did. It was fallout of power play, and cannot also rule that out here. Governors who have served 2 times, some 3 times, they are now still interested in the Senate. It's not a retirement plan, for God's sake. It should be an avenue to show good representation.
Person, there was a time they were to tamper with the constitution, to give the state assemblies autonomy. The thing did not scale through. Is it because of this carryover of orientation, or should we expect something better from these ex-governors that want to constitute the National Assembly now?
Well, what I think is that the leadership and the governors, as they were in their various states, have this fear that if they're given autonomy, they may not be able to hold the state. They may not be able to dish out authority as they do. So because when you want to govern, it also has to do with the amount of wealth that is at your disposal. Take for instance, if you want to be the governor of a state, it is expected that all the paraphernalia, all the signings and everything will rest with you. That's why you find out that some of their deputies are just there as deputies. They don't really have much work to do except as assigned by the governor. So if you now say you want to create autonomy
for the
assemblies, the governors obviously will want to resist it. Although that should not be in a democratic setting that we say we are practicing in a federal structure. It shouldn't be like that, but that is what is happening. That's what is happening in the country.
Well, let's set agenda for the night parliament.
For me,
what do you expect? We are talking about job creation.
Yes,
we are talking about corruption.
Senate cannot create any job anywhere.
Even they can make law to create jobs.
I'm coming there. What I ordinarily expect from them is to go and enact laws that will aid good governance.
Such laws as
that will support any good agenda of government.
Name one.
In the area of job creation, in the area of encouraging investment, in the area of developing education, agriculture, health, and in ensuring that Nigeria is safe. Why I'm saying that is that, I've totally said I don't believe in ex-governor going to the assembly or going to National Assembly to perform any magic. If the ex-governors knew the enormity of damage they have done to the budget of the federal government in 2018, they wouldn't have acted that way. Particularly, I'm disappointed in a person like Senator Bukola Saraki, former Senate President, who was a former who was a former governor, and former governor of Gombe. He knew the import of budget, what it can do to the economy of the country. You know what getting INEC ready could do to the expectation of Nigerians. Yes, because of politics, they drag and they drag all this, although that belongs to the past. But going forward, we want a Senate, irrespective of political party that voted them into power, that we take Nigeria as number one. Let us do what is fair to our people. We may not be perfect as human beings. Like I said, we are expecting good laws to back good governance. Any selfish idea from the executive should be jettisoned. But whatever is good should be supported, irrespective of the party that is coming from.
Also,
Yes,
you must have an opinion.
Yes, I also want to agree with him on that issue because Nigeria must be placed first. That is why we say patriotism comes in whatever we want to do. Now, if that doesn't come in, then difference in ideologies will always set in. But when you look at the country as a whole, you always think of, how can we make this country better? Leave our party politics, leave everything. When it comes to national issues, when it comes to things that will bring about development in the country, it should be a collective responsibility of everybody, irrespective of party differences. One American president before now said, think of what you can do for your country and not what you can do, what your country can do for you. So if you have that orientation that, hey, I'm part of those that will build Nigeria, then if I also have it and you have it and everybody has that kind of approach, things will get better.
And you are particularly holding a position.
A position of authority. So when you are, as a leader, when you're holding that position of authority and the people see where your body language is and where your direction of actions are, they will toe the same line. But if as a leader you're doing something else and you're telling them to do the right thing, they will look at you and say, hey, as a leader, you are not doing the right thing. Why do you now have the moral justification to tell me to do this?
So we agree that the parliament should do what is right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even if the executive is bringing what is wrong, they should be courageous to say no.
Yes.
And when the executive is doing what is right, they
Yes,
should embrace it,
yes,
irrespective of party allegation. Yes. Let's go to the presidential election. INEC is organizing supplementary presidential election on Saturday, and yet it has issued certificate of return. What is the importance of certificate of return if there should be a supplementary election?
Well, for me, let me first of all talk like a layman that believes in justice. I'm even going to quote the INEC chairman, Professor Mahmoud
Yakubu Mahmoud.
He said the presidential election will be conducted and the winner will be announced after the election. He has not kept to that.
Because the
fact of the
election has
matter
not been concluded.
Again, either by law, you want to come in and say the votes that are expected, that are remaining, where they are going to conduct supplementary elections, they are inconsequential to the majority of the vote. That's not fair. And that will also put a question mark on him. While I wholeheartedly agree that President Muhammadu Buhari has pooled sufficient vote as required by the Constitution to declare the winner. But I don't expect this level of inconclusiveness. It's a dent on our democracy. we should be bold to say the truth. What is he postponing? What is the basis of that? Who will now go out and say, okay, is he expecting President Muhammadu Buhari and Atiku to go on campaign when somebody that has won has accepted he was victorious and the other party has said he was going to the tribunal? So I don't know where to place this, but I think in the long run, the winner has emerged. Whoever is aggrieved should take the lawful position by going to the tribunal.
So,
Yes, I want to comment from a different area. I'm looking at it from waste of resources. Now, if you know that somebody has won and you've declared that person a winner, I don't think supplementary elections should hold again, except that you have not declared winners in some areas. Then you can now say, okay, we are holding supplementary elections in either A, B, or state
but
A
this
or B.
supplementary election is for the totality of the presidential election.
It's for the totality of the presidential election, but the election has been counted.
And
The results have been counted, rather.
Certificate of
And
return
certificates
issued.
of return issued. So why are we still holding the supplementary election? That's the issue. Except, just like he said, except that you were saying that when you're counting those supplementary elections, the total number of votes will surpass that
What
which
you
the
have
president
declared.
has garnered. Then you can now say, okay, it will hold water. Even at that, you will not announce the results yet. But the way I see it is that, well, let's just hold it.
It's not too tidy.
Let's just hold it so that we'll see whatever result that comes out from here. Okay, we'll just add it to this, and if it doesn't make up, we'll still, since we have given certificate of return, it stays.
Suppose there is an upset in the areas where there will be supplementary elections, and the result is affected. Will INEC go and withdraw the certificate of return?
We are all Nigerians, and first of all, thank God the title of your program says
Fourth Estate.
with the information we have that is available, as far as I'm concerned, that supplementary election is unnecessary. And I'm also saying here that it's an indictment on the INEC. You should have held those elections before announcing the winner. And even at that, the provisions of the Electoral Act is very clear that provided the winner had sufficient number of votes that clearly outnumbered any disputed vote, the other ones are bygone. So it is just to satisfy those that are saying, oh, we were disfranchised. Yeah, not different. How many of them? So I think it just play to the gallery.
Okay. Let's go to President Muhammadu Buhari, the winner. He said his second coming is going to be tough. So do you expect it to be tough? In what area will it be tough?
Well, the president, when he wanted to, of course, what gave him victory in 2015 was because he campaigned that he was going to fight corruption, he was going to change the economy, and he was going to make
create jobs and
yes.
provide security.
So that gave him the victory. Now, when the 2019 elections held, of course, in the period of 4 years, most people, let me not say most people, some people or some Nigerians were a little aggrieved that, oh, you promised us so. You have not really delivered on your promise. While some also still believe that, hey, you have been able to do it to some extent, we still want you to continue. So that will explain probably why the victory came to him. But looking at it, Nigeria, I think the policies in Nigeria has to do with implementation. If you have right policies and the institutional framework and all the things that are supposed to guide the policies to work right are not really functional, there will be a problem. Now telling us that hardship may likely come in, well, is that statement may not mean, it may not have meant it that way, let me just put it that way.
Okay.
He may not have meant it that way.
Oh.
He may have, maybe
Or maybe
what
he was misquoted.
yeah, possibly he was misquoted, but the journalist will tell you no, he wasn't misquoted, but that was what actually said. But I feel that he should have said it in a better way to further tell Nigerians that look, you have elected me as your president. Yes, challenges may come, but I'll find a way of surmounting those challenges with your help and everybody. So saying that, people will understand. But if you just come outrightly like that and say, hey, you are going to face tough time, you're already creating fear into the minds of Nigerians. That, oh, are we wrong to have said you should come back to come and continue or otherwise?
Well, maybe the president meant something else.
Whatever the president meant, I totally disagree with him. Even because I carefully ran through his statement. That word, tough, coming from the president was unfortunate. Because when you run through the statement, it is like, with due respect to Mr. President, what those that are much engrossed in literature will call oxymoron. A total misuse of words. Here is the president on one hand, in his statement that was saying he was going to ensure that Nigeria is safer. He was going to ensure that he created more jobs. He was going to ensure there is stability. Fine. The system is already tough already. Don't forget the United Nations statistics states that Nigeria is more or less
The poorest.
I'm coming where hunger reigns supreme in the world. This economy is challenging. I want to use that word. But as a president and as somebody who has gained a renewed mandate, I want to encourage the president to know that there is light at the end of the tunnel. He should see beyond challenges. And we expect from him kind words that will also encourage Nigerians to join him in rebuilding this nation. There was a time we went to Americans and maybe for want of word, he said, Nigerians used to amaze. It wasn't misquoted. So the presidency should find a way of balancing the equation.
In the choice of words.
I can see hope. I can see victory for Nigerians at the end of the day. I believe that it is well with this country.
Let's quickly look at Saturday's election. We are going for the governorship and the state assembly election. And the papers are saying there is tension in the land. Have you seen tension at all?
There is no tension as far as I'm concerned. There is no tension.
Or it's just a creation of the media?
Yes, it's a creation of the media and some Nigerians, because you cannot generalize tension to be in the country when probably a few people have squabbles in a locality. So you cannot say because 2, 3 or 4 people have squabbles or internal wranglings or as it were, you now generalize it to say there is tension everywhere. Tension is not everywhere. If you look at the country as they speak, yes, some have accepted the result. Some are saying, okay, we'll go to the tribunal. Yes, but that hasn't created tension at all. Where probably what the person or the people are saying is that there is this apprehension. If we are going to win the election, as in the governors, if they are going to win the election or not, looking at what happened at the presidential and the National Assembly polls. Because you cannot say categorically that this person will now win. Because if you look at it, some big wigs have lost. Some people that are not known
some political neophytes have emerged.
Yes. Now let me take you through this too. The guy that came third, Nicholas, I can't remember his surname again, Nicholas.
Where?
During the presidential election.
Yeah.
Would you say that Nigerians voted for him? I didn't see his campaign. I didn't see anything. Rather, Fela Durotoye campaigned. Kingsley Moghalu campaigned. Sowore campaigned. But if I tell you, yes, now you now see that the total number of votes the guy garnered is even more than
The people who
the
campaign.
entire of those that campaign. So you will see that it has even gone beyond that. Possibly it could be a problem of identification by Nigerians, because if you look at the PCP political party, it's close to PDP, and they have something similar in color. So some people may have just voted.
Some pretend it in error.
Yes, in error. So these are some of the issues that will play up in the gubernatorial elections if care is not taken. So in the right side, orientation on how to vote properly must be done.
About raising attention in one sentence.
I think it is absolute. I would say I won't say absolute madness on part of those media houses, but I want to use the word that they should be
Maybe
more
you're
careful.
professional.
They should be more careful. This nation belongs to all of us, and when there is chaos, the media will not be able to operate to function as it were. There is nothing like tension. Yes, there are apprehension between the political camps. I may win, I may lose. But looking at the country in totality, nothing like tension. I think going forward, the media should watch its language.
That's good. It's on that note we want to say thank you for being with us on this edition of Fourth Estate. Let me appreciate Omololu Rosanwo, political editor, Lagos Television. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
We hope you will always come when we call you. Ajibola Abayomi, publisher, Lead Magazine, thank you for coming.
Well, thanks so much. It is well with Nigeria.
Thank you. Until we see next week, thank you. Olufunke Faluba.